What's up, fight fans? Cage Side Seat, the best MMA talk with the biggest names in the sport from the best seat in the house, here to inspire you. And we're here at UFC Rio Rancho in Albuquerque at Media Day with Corey Overtime Anderson, one of the top light heavyweight contenders in the world. Got the best sweater, #1 contender in the sweater department. Like, this isn't even an ugly sweater. This is something that, I mean, look at this. It's king, respect, hashtags on there. I mean, you got hashtags, you got crowns, you got everything on this thing, Corey.
Yeah, I like it, man. I saw it at the mall the other day, and I was like, had to switch my whole Media Day outfit up when I saw this. Like, all right, babe, I'm not wearing what we picked out anymore. I found a new shirt. It's what we rocking with, and I like it.
So how did that conversation go? Because we all have someone in our lives who likes to dress us, and thankfully, as guys, we have girls who help us out. So how did that conversation go?
It went well. My wife said I like it. It's sexy, so that's it. That's all I need is her approval.
That's how I am with my girl, too. She likes it. I'm good. I can see I got the skulls on there, fighting. You got to fit the theme, right? People don't fit the theme. It's one thing to match.
That's the theme. Next king right there. That's my theme.
All right, well, that's a mindset, and I want to talk about that with you because the biggest thing we like to do is inspire here on this show. Corey Anderson here at UFC Rio Rancho. Main event against Jan Blachowicz. It took me 5 minutes to learn how to say that right when I interviewed him earlier because you hear it so many different ways. But you fought him before, and we'll get to that in a minute. But here you are in a main event, and I want to talk about your journey and your path because you're an outstanding wrestler. You grew up as a wrestler, a decorated wrestler, but it became so much more than that because you didn't want to fight. And if I understand the story correctly, it was Ben Askren who talked to you about it, ended up getting you in with Duke Roufus, but you resisted that at first. Can you just talk about the process that it took for you to become a fighter and get yourself to the point where you said, hey, I'm going all in on this?
I mean, my mindset all through college was after I win nationals, I want to go into the Olympics, you know. I fell short in national finals. I took second, and I wanted to go for the Olympics. I wanted to get that Olympic gold. You know, my mind said if I fall short, I got to do better than the next thing. And I wanted to get to the Olympic gold, and Ben was helping me at the time. But one day he sent me an address to meet him at a different gym, and it was Roufus Sport, you know. And when I got it, like, what are we here for? This isn't an MMA gym. Like, I know, man, it's not a wrestling gym, but it's something I want you to try. I think this could be a new sport, and I just want you to give it a try. And that day I didn't, so I just sat out and watched. And I didn't have any interest in it. I left and I went home. But by the time I got home, it was like an hour and a half driving. The whole time I'm thinking to myself, like, man, you're such a pussy. You're such a little P word for not doing it. You should have tried it. So the next day I got back up, jumped on my motorcycle, hour and a half drive back up to Milwaukee, and went in, and Duke was there. Like, oh, glad to see you came back. Today's sparring day. So, yeah, I gave it a try. First couple rounds, like, I really couldn't do nothing, just take guys down. I was getting beat up, getting punched and kicked a lot. He's like, what are you? I was like, I'm a wrestler. He's like, use it. So I started taking guys down. Like, all right, now I'll try to put it all together. And after he put me with a heavyweight, and I started taking him down, ground and pound him, hitting him with jab crosses. I was like, I hate to tell you, but you're a fighter, man. You're good at this. You can be really good. In 3 fights, I can see you in the UFC. And that was it. I never wore a wrestling singlet again. I stuck with it, and I kept training MMA every day. I started driving up to Milwaukee twice a day. He ended up giving me the key to the fighter house to stay there for the summer, and the rest is history. 3 fights later, I was an Ultimate Fighter, like he said, and here I am.
Ultimate Fighter winner coming into the UFC as a decorated wrestler. We talked about training with guys like Duke Roufus telling you how great you can be. Let's talk about 2017 because here you are on the precipice of everything you've worked for with a win this weekend, and you could get that opportunity against Jon Jones, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But 2017 was a tough year for you. You had lost 3 out of 4. And you had lost to the top guys in the world, OSP, guys like that was the last one. And then all of a sudden, you're at a crossroads in your career, and maybe not mentally at the time, but since then you haven't lost, and it's been over 2 years. So what happened in that time frame? Shogun was the first one where you said to yourself, okay, I'm going to take this as fuel. I'm learning from every one of these, and it's not going to happen anymore, and it hasn't since.
My brother called me. I remember after, he's like, man, brother, I'm not just a fan, but I'm your fan. Saying like I'm your friend, I'm your family, and I'm a fan. I'm going to tell you what's real, and I'm going to tell you what's wrong. And he said, like, I seen you since you was a kid, bro. You can be the best. You are the best. You was the best in everything you did. You just, when you fell short, it's because you didn't believe. He said, you got to go out there and believe. You know, you don't have much time to keep wasting. You got to go out there and believe that you are the best. Take this time, grow, learn, go to the gym, and focus. You can be the best, bro. These dudes are not on your level. They don't train like you. And when I put it together and finally realized it, and it started like my brother said, is I am the best. I'm my biggest, they say, I am my biggest opponent. You know, the toughest opponent is me, the man in the mirror. And that was the thing. I believed I was good, but I never believed I was the best. I knew I was good. I knew I was great, but I never actually believed I was the best to beat these top guys. And that's why I made those mistakes. Now I actually believe and know that I'm the best. I've trained with the best. I flew in the best. I got the best coaches. I've been in different gyms. I trained with Brian Bader and all those guys, and I went out there and hung with the best, beat some of the best up in the gym. I know what I'm capable of. So now it's just the fact, just getting in the cage and believing from start to finish and just get it done and stay focused.
We don't have overtime with Corey Anderson. He's got a busy schedule, so only time for one more, Corey, and we appreciate your time on a busy day, cutting weight, working out with the fight just a couple days away. But you know, and you've made no secret about it, that you want Jon Jones and you want a shot at that light heavyweight belt. You come out and said, hey, I'm glad he didn't lose that Reyes fight because I'm the guy to beat him. You see that. You visualize it in your mind. People are saying not only do you need to beat Jan Blachowicz this weekend, but you need style points, things like that. In your mind, what's the ideal scenario for this fight and then moving forward against Jon Jones for a title shot for yourself this coming year?
Right now, I can't worry about the title fight. I can't worry about what's next. I got to worry about Saturday, February 15th. And right now, the mindset is to go out there and dominate this guy, break this guy's will, put him in a spot where he want to retire when this is over with. Let him know that this is not the sport for him with these hands and with my pressure, and then go out there and then let the rest work itself out after.
All right, anything you want to say to the fans before we let you go? It's a great week for you headlining UFC Rio Rancho.
I'd like to thank the fans, the supporters, the haters, and everybody that's been around, those that hated on me and supported me. Everything means so much. We grew together, and we fell apart throughout the time. But just know this weekend is going to be the best Corey Anderson you ever seen. I'm ready to go out there and put on this overtime.
There you go. The best MMA talk with the biggest names in the sport from the best seat in the house. Here to inspire you. There's an inspiring story right there. Corey Overtime Anderson headlining UFC Rio Rancho against Jan Blachowicz this weekend.